Rangers, one of the top offenses in the USL, against rival St. Louis FC, who's only conceded 4 goals through 6 games this season. Good evening and welcome live inside Children's Mercy Park, where tonight the I-70 rivalry resumes. Swope Park Rangers hosting St. Louis FC. You can see both teams enter tonight with identical 3-1-2 records. And this rivalry is even all time as well. 1 win for each side and 3 draws between the two teams. Should be a great night for soccer in the 60s here at Children's Mercy Park. I'm Dave Borchard alongside Doug McCloggin. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight here on ESPN+. Take a look at some of the star players for tonight's match. Starting with the opponents, we talked about how good their defense is, and Doug, it all starts with a good goalkeeper in Jake Fennelson.
Yeah, he's been tremendous all year, but the funny thing about it, it's the 4 people in front of him. When you've got a defense as tight as they are, and then you've got a fantastic goalkeeper, then Swope Park Rangers has got their work cut out tonight, that's for sure.
Goalie gets a lot of the credit, but like you said, it's the whole defense. They enter allowing .67 goals per game here early in the season. And on the home side, the big playmaker Carlton Belmar is up with first-team Sporting KC tonight, so a lot of the load on offense will fall on Haji Berry.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a great opportunity for him. With Belmar gone, this is a chance for him probably to get himself on that scoreboard a little bit more. He scored 1 goal, he's got 3 assists, but he's created 11 chances so far this season. I think we'll see some goals tonight.
All right, we'll take a timeout, but stay tuned. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at tonight's starting lineups and get first kick to you. It's the I-70 rivalry. Swope Park Rangers hosting St. Louis FC here on ESPN+. Welcome back. Kickoff just moments away. Swope Park Rangers hosting St. Louis FC. Quickly, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup, starting with the visitors from St. Louis, coming out in a 4-4-2 formation. And Doug, anything you're looking for tonight in St. Louis's lineup?
Yeah, I'm going to look at the 4 in midfield, whether they're a tight 4, maybe a diamond or a box shape, or whether they're a flat 4. It'll be interesting to see how they do that, because they're very defensively minded. We may see 4 of them playing tight in the middle.
All right, and then Swope Park Rangers in the traditional Sporting KC 4-3-3 formation. How about Busio getting the start only 15 years old. I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
That's amazing, 15 years old. That's a great experience for him, and I think we're going to see a lot of attacking-minded soccer tonight from Swope Park Rangers, and I'm really looking forward to this game.
Rangers, of course, led by legendary Sporting KC midfielder Paulo Nagamura, his first year as head coach. St. Louis FC, led by coach Anthony Poulis. Beautiful night for soccer. Thanks so much for tuning in here on ESPN+. See Brad Evans there wearing the captain's armband tonight. Longtime MLS veteran, has not played yet this season for Sporting KC, has been recovering from an injury here in the early part of the season, and gets his first significant action tonight in the starting lineup at center back for the Rangers and wearing that captain's armband. Alongside Amir Džidić, who we know is obviously quite a center back. It's a great pairing in defense tonight for Swope Park Rangers against a sturdy defense in their own right in St. Louis FC, and we are underway here in Kansas City, Kansas. Rangers off to a quick start, maybe a scoring chance here in the opening minutes. Ball sent across, but cut out of danger. Now St. Louis looking to work the other direction. It's going to be an interesting matchup, as we talked about in the pregame show, Doug. It's kind of that clash of styles with Swope Park Rangers, one of the top offenses in USL, and St. Louis, one of the top defenses in the league.
Yeah, Swope Rangers score on average 2 goals a game, and St. Louis does not give up a goal a game. So you would think something's going to break tonight.
Yeah, what do you normally see in professional soccer when you have kind of those clash of styles, really good offense against really good defense? Do you give an edge one way or the other?
It just depends on how the game starts, I think. We talked about this earlier. If Swope gets an early opportunity and scores early, then St. Louis has got to come out of their shape a little bit to change things up. But, you know, yeah, it could be a long 0-0 game, or hopefully it's going to be like a 3-3 or a 4-4 game. That's what I'm hoping for.
Definitely have good representation from both supporters groups here tonight. You can hear them and see them on the far sideline. Hopefully they do get some goals tonight as this young and budding rivalry, 5 games into this I-70 series. 1 win for each side and 3 straight draws in the series. So we'll see if another team can get a win tonight and get a leg up in the rivalry. Just 5 games young it is. Yeah,
I don't want to jinx it, but last time these 2 teams met, it was last year, and it was a 0-0 tie.
Well, then the odds would say it'll be something different, right?
Well, we hope, we hope.
Unbelievable venue here in Children's Mercy Park, and just a beautiful night. Temperature around 65 degrees, very light wind. Great conditions for the fans, great soccer conditions as well. And now the Rangers looking to attack quickly in the other direction. Nice move there. Now at the edge of the box. Ball sent across but cut out, still in a dangerous spot, and now St. Louis able to alleviate the pressure.
Some great work up top there by Blackwood. He made a run from the outside to the inside and then received the ball and created the opportunity outside. It's an opportunity!
Haji Berry chips the keeper, and it's in the back of the net!
Wow! That is a tremendous finish, and I'm not sure where it came from.
The ball just bounced at the right place at the right time, and Berry was looking for it, and the keeper was way off his line. Haji Berry made it look easy.
Well, I don't know if he knew it was coming. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but that is a great finish, and 1-0, that can only make the game better.
Let's take a look here as the ball just trickled through, and Berry really quick thinking. He knew right where he was. He knew right where the goalie was, and he just turned his head and kicked it without even a second thought. And look at it, just kind of bounced through over the defense, and Berry with a quick thinking. And I don't know what the goalkeeper Fennelson was doing there. He seemed way out of position. Well, there didn't seem to be any danger, but that ball took a big hop over Busio's head. The defender misread it, and it came straight to Berry. And like I said, I'm not sure he knew it was coming, but took a strange bounce, and I think the keeper was not aware of it going to happen either. It's a strange one. Yeah, to your point, it's it may have sounded like I was criticizing the goalkeeper there, but it didn't look like there was about to be a shot on goal. I mean, there was 3 defenders between the ball and Berry, and somehow it got through and over all of them. And Berry just very heads up to get a quick poke towards goal. And now maybe this changes the game completely. St. Louis, a team that seems like they would have been content to sit back and defend for quite a while and let this game sit at 0-0 for quite a while based on what they've done this year. 6 goals and only 4 goals allowed through the first 6 games of the season. A very defensive-minded team, but now that they've given up a goal here in the 3rd minute of the match, you'd have to think they'd start chasing this a little bit more than they would have planned on.
Well, they're going to have to eventually. I don't think you're going to see a change in the first 30, 40 minutes. They're still going to plug on the way they normally play. But, you know, later on, if it's still in this position, yeah, they'll have to open up and go for some kind of a result here. But like I said, this is only good for the game because it's going to open it up for sure.
Parker Mayer on the near side. Now Brad Evans, again, the longtime veteran receiving the pass here. I'm sure he's excited to get some playing time, work out the rust a little bit. Now Gidic with it for the Rangers. Over to Busio, again, just 15 years old, but a guy that really has made an impression on Peter Vermees and really the whole first team coaching staff. I think very impressed by this kid, what he can do at 15 years old and what he has to offer long term. It's exciting. Yeah,
if you just watch him, you just see how comfortable he is on the ball. And he's playing with grown men here, and he just looks so smooth. He's going to be a product for the future, that's for sure.
Evans with it now for the Rangers. Again, like you said, Doug, St. Louis not really in any desperate situation here to change up their game plan. I think they'll still be content to sit back and let the Rangers have possession, at least for a while.
Yeah, they'll plug away. And they've got 2 forwards that work very well together. In fact, they combined for the goal last week against OKC. So they'll be patient and they'll have opportunities, you know, and they could get back into this just with a normal run of play. I don't think they need to panic as of right now.
St. Louis really hasn't had much of the ball other than that sequence in the first minute of the match. Now they have it and look to keep the ball for a little bit of time. Nice touch forward, collision there. Evans, though, no call is, I thought it might be a foul on Evans, but no call is made there. Barry and Busio try to give and go, a little bit of contact. Again, no call. Ball goes back to the visitors from St. Louis.
That's what Swope, has got to watch a little bit here. The little flick from Herzog that went through to Valesky, that's how they scored the goal last week. A nice little flick, and those two will work well together. And it almost caught the back 4 there, but good defender. I think it was Didic that actually intercepted the ball. But they've got to watch those 2 up front.
Ball into the corner, maybe a bit too firm. Yep, just barely over the end line. Not a bad idea there by Kavita, but rolls just a touch long. Let's take another look at that goal by Haji Berry in the 3rd minute. Again, seems innocent enough. St. Louis FC with it along the sideline. You know, long ball forward, then just headed in. Couple bounces.
Ooh, just poorly misread by Sam Fink. Which, yeah, I don't know. I know they water the field before the game. I've seen them do that, and maybe it just took an extra skip that he wasn't expecting, because really nothing was going on.
Yeah, the defense maybe not communicating very well either. It almost looked like no one made a break for the ball after it went over the initial defender. Collision there in the midfield, and possession goes back to the home side. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Dave Borchard here alongside Doug McCloggin, watching USL Soccer here on ESPN Plus, live from the beautiful Children's Mercy Park here in Kansas City, Kansas. Haji Berry has the early goal, 3rd minute in this match, on a clever one-time volley as he chipped the goalkeeper. The Rangers looking for more, but St. Louis able to intercept. That's Kavita again. Been active here the last few minutes for the visitors from St. Louis FC. Ball played through the defense, but right to another defender, and now St. Louis FC looking to attack the other direction, but a bit too firm, and it goes back to the home side.
Swope was unlucky with that attack. With some great movement off the ball by Jalen Lindsay. He made anywhere from 40 to 50-yard overlapping run that did create space. Defender went with him, so Blackwood cut inside and just unfortunately lost possession. But it's good to see the movement off the ball for Swope here.
Jalen Lindsay, another guy I know a lot of Sporting KC fans are excited about, with a fullback entrenched in Graham Zusi, who's been playing at a MLS All-Star type level. Lindsay, though, looks to be the future at that spot. Maybe even a backup in the short term, but looks to have a lot of upside to grow into that role, and excited to see what he'll do tonight at that right back position. Seeing him there near the ball, lets it roll over the sideline. But we talked about Busio earlier, just 15 years old. Jalen Lindsey's another guy that I believe he's 17, and I know everybody that talks about him is really excited about what they're seeing.
Yeah, it's just great that these kids are getting an opportunity to play with, you know, some of these players are 26, 27, 28, and they're playing with 15, 17-year-olds. It's just a fantastic experience, and it can only make them better. And yeah, I think both these kids you're going to see in the future. Hopefully it will be with Sport in Kansas City, but you'll see them in the future, and they're going to be really good.
It's crazy to think, and I know a lot of our viewers can relate to, you know, what were we doing at 15 years old? I know I was nowhere near being a professional athlete, and just even having the maturity to handle that is pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. But they've been in that academy environment for a few years now, so they're used to the practice level, they're used to the intensity, and you know, it's just a step up. It's what happens in Europe when young kids can play at that level. They'll go and step and play in the men's league. I know, you know, when I was 15, 16, I was playing in the local men's league, and it's how it makes you better. It makes you smarter because you have to avoid the physical contact a little bit more, so you play a little bit quicker. So it's fantastic for these kids to get to do that.
You're just tuning in. Haji Berry got the goal in the 3rd minute as he chipped goalkeeper Jake Fennelson on a nice first-time poke over the top of the keeper, as the ball looked like it was just a harmless header towards the edge of the area, and it got past 3 St. Louis FC defenders, and Barry definitely had his head on a swivel as he was able to react quickly and poke it in the back of the net. And for St. Louis FC, a team that's only scored 6 goals in 6 games this year, I'm sure that's not the kind of start they wanted. They're the team that hasn't exactly had an explosive offense this year, but I guess if you look at it from the other side, the Rangers, one of the top offensive teams in the USL, 13 goals through 7 games. I should say 13 through 6, but they've conceded 10 goals in 6 games. So it's not like St. Louis won't have a great chance to equalize in this game. The Rangers' defense hasn't been great this year.
No, it's not been fantastic. Maybe the introduction of Evans tonight for a little bit of experience, MLS experience, might help them out a little bit more tonight. But yes, you're right that they've given up 10 goals in 6 games too. So it could go either way, and I think we'll just see it, you know, still being played tight as it is right now. And St. Louis is no rush to get back into this game. They'll just slowly plod and do what they're used to doing. 1 goal's not going to kill them and think they're going to change everything.
Nice look there on the long ball by Kuzain. Through to Barry, in the box again. Barry, but pushes it just wide. The defender may have actually gotten a touch on that. It's out for a corner kick, but we were talking in pregame about Haji Berry having to step up on offense in the absence of Carlton Belmar. He's certainly done that early in the match.
Yeah, that was a great ball in by Blackwood. Unfortunately, Barry didn't quite take his first touch as well as he'd want it. He took it with his right foot and it ran across to his left side of his body, and he just couldn't get the shot off. Therefore, the defender was able to poke it away, but a great opportunity.
Early corner kick for the Rangers towards the top of the box. Ball is easily cleared out by St. Louis FC. It looked like that was the plan there by Hernandez, but didn't work out. Rangers, though, able to keep possession. Still in the attacking third. Busio back to Minter. Nice move by Minter onto his left foot. Sends it across, but headed out. Stay with the home side. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Again, selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Evans to Džidić, and again, even though we mentioned the Rangers have given up some goals this year, this is a great center back pairing, and MLS veteran Brad Evans and then up-and-comer Amir Džidić. It's going to be tough to break down the Rangers, at least through the center of the park tonight.
Yeah, they're very strong down the middle. I think what you'll see too, I don't know so much about Evans, but on set pieces, Džidić is very dangerous too. And I got a feeling Evans might be that way too. So yeah, it adds a little different look to Swope Park Rangers, and excited to see what it will look like tonight, both offensively and defensively.
St. Louis FC, one of the few times tonight they're early enjoying a nice spell of possession. May have spoken too soon though, as the ball played forward before Kavita has sailed over the sideline. A lot of people think of I-70, they're thinking of Kansas City Royals, St. Louis Cardinals, 1985 World Series. Obviously one of those that'll live forever in history, and pleasant thoughts for Kansas Cityans, not so much for St. Louis Cardinals fans, but it's great to have a soccer rival this close. You know, it's only 3.5 hours across the state, and it's all, you know, it's not quite MUKU or KUK State, but I think it has the chance to develop into something special here in the next few years as these teams keep playing each other.
Yeah, it's a new rivalry, but really when you look at soccer for Kansas City and St. Louis, this rivalry has been going on for a long time with club soccer, with kids soccer. So anytime St. Louis plays Kansas City, it's a massive game, and this is probably going to be one of our biggest rivals in the USL for now, obviously, in years to come. It's always fun when St. Louis plays Kansas City. A lot at stake, a lot of bragging rights, whether it's baseball or soccer, it doesn't matter.
See Busio getting well up the field there. Now retreating back to his position in the center of the park. Berry with it now for Swope Park Rangers. Back to Busio, near side. Will it stay in bounds? It does. Chase Minter surveying his options, now playing it back to Parker Mayer. Ooh, big push there in the center of the pitch, and foul is called as Brad Evans goes down. Definitely some contact. He did a good job selling it as well. Yeah,
he sold it well, but he did get tripped from behind. And I think that's, you know, he's not played for a while. So I think he was a little bit too casual, so he'll play a little bit quicker next time. I think he was casual on the ball and just got clipped.
He's taking our look, yeah, kicked, and then a little bit of a push in the back as well, so no doubt about that call.
Well, that's one of those when you've been out for a while, your speed of play may not be necessarily where it needs to be, and he's probably a little sleepy there. But,
Minter dribbling to the edge of the box, sending it across, my gosh, nearly an own goal there, as the ball trickled about 3 feet in front of the goal line, and if anyone would have been in the area for Swope Park Rangers, that could have been a tap-in.
That was actually a very good play by Culbertson, because, like you said, look how he angled it away. That could quite easily come off his foot and go in as an own goal, and that was a tremendous ball across the face of the goal. But well cleared by Culbertson.
Felipe Hernandez with his second corner kick of the match towards the near post. Ball is chipped, but over the top. I believe that was Gedic that got a foot on it. Unable to keep it on frame, though, but good set piece that time for Swope Park Rangers, and just a couple feet over the top of the goal.
Yeah, down to his feet. He's normally getting it in the air because he's about 6 foot something. But that was down at his foot, on his left foot, and just couldn't quite poke it away.
Fendelson, the goalkeeper, about to put his right foot into this. He came into tonight's match with a .67 goals against average, but has already conceded here in the first 17 minutes of the match, actually in the 3rd minute of the match when Haji Berry chipped him. It's over the sideline. Possession goes back to St. Louis FC.
Slight little nudge in the back there. Foul call by the referee.
Kavita's been active early in the match, but the offside flag goes up on his cross.
Actually just rolled out of bounds, I think. Yeah, so throw in here.
Very nice first touch, but too many white jerseys around him to keep possession. Now it'll go all the way back to the keeper.
St. Louis controlling a little bit more of the possession than in the early minutes. So, like I said, they're not panicking. They're fine to continue the way they're playing, and hopefully they can work their way back into the game.
Long ball chipped forward. Thought that might have been offside. Flag stays down. Keeper McLeod off his line, plays it smartly over the sideline.
That was a very
Doug, did you think that was a good no call there?
The no call?
Yeah, on the offside. I thought that might have been offside on the
no, he was definitely on, I think. It was a good ball over the top. Keeper did very well to come out and read it. I believe he looked to me like he was onside, but probably have to get a better look at that. So Swope's not seen a lot of the ball in the last couple of minutes. St. Louis quite happy just to knock it around and keep possession.
Yeah, and it looked like Swope Park Rangers the first 10, 12 minutes of this match had almost all the possession, and like you said, St. Louis FC the last 5 or 6 minutes has had pretty much all of it. Haven't been able to do much with it in terms of creating good scoring chances, but the more you have the ball, eventually that's going to come. Player down for the Rangers, but play continues.
Interesting ball in, just put too much on it. That's going to run for a goal kick. Not sure who that is limping around.
Tyler Blackwood. Yeah, he went down and stayed down for a second, then got up, and you can see him not moving at his normal gait.
It looks like, with the referee talking to Culbertson, that maybe there was a little foul on the play that maybe he played on, and just had a little word with him. Maybe that was connected to the limping Blackwood.
Darren McLeod now about to play it forward for the Rangers as we're into the 21st minute. 1-0 the lead for the home side. Haji Berry with the goal in the 3rd minute of the match. And that is the difference.
It's been a fairly even game. You take away that one goal that was kind of a surprise to all of us. It's been a fairly even game. St. Louis really hasn't created an opportunity yet, whereas Sporting did create that other opportunity for Haji Berry too. But like I said earlier, you've got to watch this Herzog and Valesky. They look very dangerous up front. They work well together. And so Swope Park Rangers has got to be on their toes at the back there. There's an opportunity, takes a deflection. I think we've got a corner kick.
Yep, first shot of the game for St. Louis FC does take a deflection. That was Dakers on the shot. And with the deflection, it'll be a corner kick for the road team. So 22nd minute before the visitors get their first shot of the match, but now it leads to a set-piece opportunity. Kyle Culbertson will take this. Looks like it'll be a left-footed in-swinger. Towards the near post, headed out of danger. Good touch, but the shot lets him down. So it looked like Valesky maybe had a chance to touch it off his chest and bury it, but his shot was not what he intended.
Yeah, it was a ball just way up in the air, but I love the way Valesky read the next play and got a couple of yards on Didic. And, you know, he'll want that one back because I bet you 9 times out of 10 he probably gets a clean strike off there, but he completely mishit that one.
I'll tell you, credit to McLeod as well. It looked like he completely took away whatever angle Valesky may have been looking to shoot from, so it would have taken quite a strike to beat him from that point.
Yeah, and it was a hard strike too. Balls, you know, coming off his chest in the air, had to turn and get over it on the volley, and that's not an easy skill to do. But like I said, I think he'd like that one back because that was a very good opportunity. And again, you've got to watch his work off the ball. He looks very busy, and he read that opportunity really well and got a couple steps ahead of Didic, which gave him the opportunity. So again, keep an eye on Valesky and keep an eye on Herzog up front for St. Louis.
Talked about Swope Park Rangers, Doug, coming out in the normal 4-3-3 formation, going up against that 4-4-2 for the visitors. Get to that in just a moment. Minter on the edge of the box, sending it across, cleared out by the central defender. Rangers, though, able to keep possession. Blackwood to Busio. Busio now back to Mayer. Kuzain, nice job keeping possession for the home side. I was going to ask you, though, 4-4-2 going up against 4-3-3. What are kind of the key elements when you're looking at an X's and O's breakdown of how how those formations could help decide the match?
Well, like I said earlier, it depends a lot on what St. Louis does with a 4. It looks like they're playing 4 across. So there will be openings for the wide midfielders because Swope Park Rangers do not have midfielders that are wide. They're all 3 central, basically. So there's opportunities down the flanks for St. Louis. They've not really taken advantage of it yet, but yeah, that's something that Swope has to watch.
St. Louis switching the point of attack. Nice first touch off the chest. That's definitely a foul on Mayer. St. Louis looking for a yellow card. I do not believe the referee is going to show one, but let's see.
I don't think he is, but the...
Yep, I was wrong.
Yeah.
It was a definite foul.
Yeah, I wonder if he was talked into that, because it was a foul and he was going to goal. So, I mean, a yellow does not shock me at all. But at first, I didn't see any motion that him walking across and grabbing for his pocket. But he eventually then decided, yes, a yellow card. And that's, like I said, probably a fair call.
It's referee Lucas Zapala. Hasn't had a lot to do here early in the match. I always feel like a referee is doing a good job when you don't talk about him a lot, and we haven't mentioned him before right now.
Absolutely, that's the best referee, the one you don't notice.
Pretty dangerous spot here for St. Louis FC for this set piece. Ball is lobbed into the box, still bouncing around, but it'll roll towards the edge of the field. St. Louis able to keep it in. Danger not over here for the home side. And now it is. It's pretty good service into the box there, but Gidic and Evans and a couple of trees just waiting to clear it out for the home side.
Yeah, it was a good service. It's got to beat those two, though. It's got to get in behind those two, and unfortunately, as good as they are in the air, that's not the easiest thing to do. And because it was in front of him, then I think it was Gidic just came to it and cleared it with his head. If they can get the ball slightly in behind the big 2 central defenders, then that gives an opportunity for a St. Louis guy to run onto it and maybe get a possible flick.
Foul is called there. Fans, you can hear exclusive stories directly from the USL's players and USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Very trying to make something happen for the home side, but St. Louis able to keep possession. The ball just bouncing back and forth in the center of the park to the far sideline. Blackwood playing it back now. Jalen Lindsay. Rangers switching the point of attack to Parker Mayer.
Swope's just trying to knock around because St. Louis does defend very well. As soon as that ball switched, immediately there's pressure on the ball, and that gives the very little options for the person on the ball. So if you watch St. Louis, they are working very, very hard defensively and just making it difficult for Swope right now to find little spaces. If you see that switch ball again here, and they'll shift over. You see the midfielders sprinting over there to get pressure on the ball. That's great defense, and that's great discipline on defense too. Yep, no way out again. That's well done, St. Louis. Just making it difficult, and Swope's going to have to move that ball a little bit quicker and try and find those gaps, and when they find the gaps, to move it quick and to penetrate to create opportunities. But right now, I can see why St. Louis does not give up many goals. They defend very well.
For as good as they are defensively, it's even more surprising they gave up kind of a sloppy goal right at the start of the match.
Yeah, I can guarantee their coach is probably not very happy about that.
Could be a chance here for the visitors. Ball sent towards goal, and pretty easy save there by McLeod. Not sure if that was intended to be a shot or a cross by Dakers. Ended up being more of a shot as it pretty much went right at the keeper, but pretty easy stop. Good positional save by McLeod.
Yeah, not enough on it to beat a keeper of that level.
Good, Christian.
Think he was trying to cross it there, or you think he was making a run at goal?
I think it's probably one of those that goes across and a shot and halfway between, and and neither of them were good.
Take another look here.
Yeah, I mean, from that angle, there's no way you're going to score, especially when he's stretching. He's really reaching into that cross. That had to be a cross. I'm not sure if they had anybody in the box there for anyway, but easy save for McLeod. And so we talked about Haji Berry being a big factor in this game. Over the last 10 minutes or so, I don't know if he's seen the ball. And that's, maybe some of that is up to him, but partly I think that is the St. Louis defense and down the middle, not allowing him to see that ball.
Kind of been out on an island by himself.
Yeah, and Blackwood's seen the ball a lot, and I think Mint has seen it quite a bit, but Haji Berry has not really seen that ball at all. But I'm sure he'll be fine with that if he sees it in front of goal for a finish and score another goal. So he'll be patient. Here he is now.
Right on track. There's Berry with the touch. Two defenders immediately close on him. Now passing it out wide to Minter. Overlapping run. Minter sends it across. Pretty good ball, but cleared out over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for Swope Park Rangers.
Yeah, he hung that one in the box. Minter's had probably 3 or 4 crosses now, and the 2 before it were with his left foot, and they've been very dangerous across that face of the goal. That one was his right foot. It was just floater in towards the far post for a header. But yeah, he looks very dangerous when he gets in behind that fullback.
Third corner kick of the match coming up for the Rangers. It's Felipe Hernandez going to take this one again. First one was a line drive to the top of the box. Didn't really cause much danger, but the second one ended up at the feet of Amir Djidic and ended up being a shot. This one again towards the near post, cut out effectively by the St. Louis defense, but Hernandez trying to keep it in. The attacking third, unable to do so.
Yeah, the corners have been a little ineffective so far. Remember the last game we did, I think it was against Seattle, they were extremely dangerous on every single corner kick. Not as dangerous today, and I think the lineup may look a little bit smaller than it was for that game. And maybe that's why they're driving a little bit more into the box instead of floating them like they did against Seattle.
Contact in the middle. No call is made, though. Now St. Louis FC with a chance, perhaps. Good defense there in the box by Mayer. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow online at USL on Twitter. Djidic able to cause a deflection, and McLeod quickly off his line to scoop it up. Again, it was Dakers, though, causing trouble. He's been active here the last 5 minutes. I think that's the 3rd time he's touched the ball near the penalty area.
I was just going to say that's the 3rd time he's been in, but Djidic defended him very, very well there. And the play before that, Mayer defended well, stayed on his feet, was patient, and unfortunately, Akers couldn't get a shot off.
You're just tuning in. Haji Berry had the goal, 3rd minute of this match, as he chipped the goalkeeper Jake Fennelson. A header looked like an innocent enough header forward by the Rangers, ended up bouncing over a defender, splitting 2 other defenders, and Berry volleyed it the first time over the goalkeeper in a very creative and head-on-a-swivel sort of move. And we wondered what the offense would look like against this great St. Louis defense. Oh, a big collision at the edge of the box, and referee's calling it a goal kick. Thought that could have potentially been a foul there.
I don't think there was anything in it. I think Lindsay was going so fast that he poked the ball back, and I think he was a little bit out of control right there. That's not a foul by the defender. That's just the forward running into the defender. So goal kick, I think that's a fair result there.
Defender definitely held his ground, and as you mentioned, it's a goal kick coming up for the visitors.
It's been a very even game, other than that kind of weird goal, you know. Good for Swope Park Rangers to pick up the loose ball, but I know Coach Pulis would be very disappointed with St. Louis just falling asleep for half a second, and now they're 1-0 down.
Kuzain with the bad giveaway. Now St. Louis looking to work quickly in the other direction. Dakers gets it again here on the near sideline. Dakers surveying his options, now cutting into the box. Long-range curling shot, but didn't get a lot on it. It's an easy save for McLeod. Dakers, though, again, continues to be dangerous for St. Louis.
Yeah, he's causing some problems down this flank here, but the shot had no power on it, and it was curling in towards goalkeeper McLeod, so it's a pretty easy save for him. But we talked about the possibility of our midfielders for St. Louis finding some space down here, and it seems like Dakers is doing that consistently too.
Foul called on the Rangers. On Parker Mayer, it looked like he kind of got shoved over, but a foul is called on the defense. Pretty good spot for a set piece. Not super dangerous spot, but St. Louis FC should at least be able to put this into the area, and you can never really predict what's going to happen when the ball gets into the box.
Yeah, this is a similar spot to the last one, and he couldn't clear the back four. Let's see if he can get it in behind the back four, how he drives this one in.
It's off of Barry, and it's a corner kick for St. Louis.
Yeah, the idea of just to drive it in there with the laces up for Valesky, who hopefully for them would be able to head it back across the face of the goal, but fortunately for him, Barry got his head on it, and it's a corner kick for St. Louis. And here's an opportunity for them to get back into this game.
Lewis Hilton's going to take this with his right foot. Rangers setting up defensively in anticipation of this set piece. 36th minute here at Children's Mercy Park. Hilton plays it short, gets it right back. Now sends it into the box towards the back post. Headed across by St. Louis, and there's a great chance, but it's right at Darren McLeod.
Great effort by St. Louis. Unfortunately, the header went straight to the goalkeeper. That's a beautiful short corner, deep ball to the far post, headed across the face of goal. And a great attempt there, unfortunately, straight at the keeper.
Boy, and credit to McLeod, moving very quickly laterally. He had to go back and forth 3 times on that play, but he found himself in the perfect spot to make the save.
And that's what you're supposed to do, right? Put yourself in the right position, and because he did that, it was an easy save. If he wasn't in the right position, that would have been a goal probably, so give him credit there, but it's a nice set piece by St. Louis. Maybe that's something that Swope has to watch in case they get another set piece.
I don't know about you, Doug. I'm not a huge fan of the short corners, but that one ended up creating a pretty darn good chance. And now a shot at the edge of the area, just wide.
Not a huge fan of myself, but they can cause chaos, especially when the opposition doesn't know it's coming. And that run to the front post to open that short was a play that I think caught Swope sleeping a little bit. And once you do that, then openings occur. So yeah, sometimes it's good. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes.
Tyler Blackwood put a pretty good strike into that just a moment ago, but rolled it just wide of goal. All of a sudden, St. Louis, who didn't have a shot in the first 20 minutes, now is out shooting the Rangers 5-3 for the match. And 2 shots on goal for St. Louis FC. Both those have come here in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're not as defensively minded as we possibly thought they were going to be, right?
Yeah, no doubt. They've definitely come out of their shell, at least. It looks that way statistically here in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Really, the first 20 minutes, they didn't really offer much offensively at all. But since then, the last 15, 17 minutes of the match, they've been definitely making it a fair fight both ways on the offensive side, at least.
I think they look a pretty well-rounded team. They just gave away a silly goal.
What a nice move by Hernandez. Now Barry here behind the defense. People running into the area, sent across. Minter with a shot, just misses. He's calling for a deflection. Referee says goal kick. I don't know if Minter was expecting to get that ball, Doug.
No, probably not, because it went all the way through. That's a great overlapping run. That's a beautiful ball right between the last defender. It went through the legs. And you knew where he was going. He's going that upper 90.
Man, just about
Unfortunately, didn't hit it quite how he wanted to.
Just about 6 inches high and wide. It's a good idea. It was wide open in that corner of the goal. Now on the other end, St. Louis maybe with a chance. We have a 4v4. Long range shot though. McLeod with an easy save. Don't know if that was the best decision there.
Is that Dakers again? Dakers seems to be the offense right now for St. Louis. It's about the 5th or 6th time he's got in to create opportunities. So he's doing very well. This time it was down the middle, not down the flank. But again, with all of his shots so far, they have not had enough power to beat McLeod in goal.
Busio now for the Rangers. Gidich.
Well, we were afraid it might be a 0-0 game, but it's been far from that. It's been very entertaining. Opportunities on both ends. I think we're going to be in for a good game here tonight, that's for sure.
I think I just heard you predict additional goals. Is that what you feel like there's some more goals to come in this match?
Yeah, I feel there is. I think on both teams, Swope are creating opportunities, and I think St. Louis are looking very dangerous up front too. So I would be surprised if it would stay 1-0, but again, you never know.
About 5 minutes until halftime here. Maybe a little bit of stoppage time, but shouldn't be a lot. Thanks so much for tuning in. You're watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. I'm Dave Borchard alongside Doug McCloggin from the state-of-the-art Children's Mercy Park here in Kansas City, Kansas. Swope Park Rangers 1-0 lead over St. Louis FC. Haji Berry with the goal in the 3rd minute, but it's been a pretty entertaining match despite only the 1 goal thus far. Big collision there as Gidich. No foul is called, and a pretty clean header, but ended up following through into the fort for St. Louis. And now a chance here for the Rangers. Busio. Here's Berry now with it, edge of the box. Lindsay to Kuzain. Now back to Evans, all the way back to midfield now. Thought it might be a chance for the Rangers. They were forced to retreat.
I think the pass from Busio just didn't go where Berry wanted it, or Blackwood wanted it. I think it slowed down the offense.
Yellow card is shown to Lewis Hilton. Has been a physical presence in the first half. I've been seeing him with a little bit of, not dirty fouls, but some pushing, shoving, physical play, and definitely a physical tackle there, earns the yellow.
Yeah, I think he likes to mix it up a little bit.
To be careful now that he's been shown a yellow. Again, the 6th match in this rivalry's history. 1 win for each team, 3 draws. In fact, 3 straight draws. If this result holds, the Rangers would be able to claim bragging rights at least until the next game. 2 more matches between these 2 teams this year. So the first of 3 coming up again later in the year. We have June 2nd and September 15th. These 2 teams will meet again.
And that 3rd game is here again, I believe, at home for Swope Park. So that was a lovely ball there from Gidich, a good old 50 to 60 yard ball across the field. Unfortunately didn't quite make it, but we have a corner kick out of it.
Hernandez, not great service to the near post, easily cleared out.
Yeah, the corner kicks have been disappointing from Hernandez tonight, which is not normal from him. But
yeah, we've seen him be exceptional in some games.
Absolutely, yeah, and he's had, I think, 4 tonight, and at least 3 of them have been average on his, level.
Wow, nice move there. Now, can the Rangers create something out of it? Here's Busio. Cutting back to the middle. Long-range shot. Bends just wide of goal, though.
I like the attempt from the 15-year-old.
That was ambitious.
Yes, very ambitious, but you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to bend it round into that bottom left post of the goalkeeper. He wrapped his foot around it. Unfortunately, didn't get his foot all the way around, else that would have been coming in towards that post and would have been a dangerous shot for the goalkeeper. But I like his attempt.
These are 2 teams that have been in good form lately. Swope Park Rangers undefeated their last 3. St. Louis back-to-back wins. Swope Park Rangers also 2 home games this year, 2 victories, so they're looking to extend that perfect home start to the season. And it's been an entertaining match. I think we're seeing two teams in good form, and it's kind of gone back and forth here. Like if this was a prize fight, it would be pretty even except for the one goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Two very good teams. Like I said, I don't think we're done here. I think we're going to see another goal coming from somewhere for sure.
Fennelson plays it forward. Gidic gets a touch, now just sort of being knocked around. Minter now with it for the Swope Park Rangers. Halftime getting close. Can either side get a chance here before the halftime whistle? It's like Minter maybe got a knee to the thigh there.
So the opportunity, if you look at Blackwood right now, he's way wide on that opposite side, and St. Louis is very, very tight. So they're not giving you any room to get the ball to feet. They're swarming the ball close here. But if you can get the ball in from this side and switch it to the opposite side, Blackwood's got a lot of space over there. Unfortunately, they couldn't do it that time.
There will be a minimum of 1 minute of stoppage time added on here to the end of the first half. Should be starting here in about 10 seconds. Foul is called on Gidic. Looked like some pretty routine contact to me, but nonetheless, it's going to be a very dangerous spot for a set piece for St. Louis FC. Gidic kind of laughing. I don't think he can believe the call. Yeah,
it was a little bit of a nudge. I mean, I see the foul because he did actually push him over, but I mean, they're both, giving a little push at each other. Yeah, there's a little nudge. The problem was Valesky was off balance, so that nudge made him fall. Not saying he made a meal of it, but definitely off balance, nudged off. So this could be a dangerous free kick. It's gone far out, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be taking an opportunity on goal here.
Herzog hits it into the wall, and now just cleared out by the Rangers defense. About 20 seconds left or so till the halftime whistle. Maybe one more chance here for the visitors. Ball chipped into the box. Gidic heads it out. Maybe now one more chance for the Rangers. It's got to be any second for the halftime whistle. Possession stays with the home side. Referee checking his watch. There's the halftime whistle. No last chances here to end the half for Swope Park Rangers, but there's the star of the show. Haji Berry gets the goal in the 3rd minute, and that's the difference in this match, Doug.
Well, yeah, he was the one we said it was going to be a great opportunity for him tonight. He's really had, well, he's had 2 opportunities, but that first one in the first 3 minutes came out of nowhere, and he finished it clinically. It was a beautiful finish, and then his other opportunity, his touch was off a little bit and got blocked by a defender, but he's had a great opportunity to step to the forefront here, and he's done well. 1 goal in the first half. I'm sure he'll be happy, although I think he would like to see the ball a little bit more than he has in this first half.
All right, it's halftime. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, lots of good stuff to get to, including great video piece featuring the Victory Project. We'll look at scores from around the league and some of the top storylines in USL. We'll also look at the halftime stats and talk about halftime adjustments. It's 1-0 Swope Park Rangers over St. Louis FC, and you're watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. full moon in the sky, and it's a 1-0 halftime lead for the home side. Swope Park Rangers over St. Louis FC tonight here at Children's Mercy Park. Lots of good soccer still to come. Stay tuned. Second half just a few minutes away. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight on ESPN+. We know the great work of Sporting KC and the Victory Project that they do throughout the Kansas City community. Let's take a look at a recent project they had where they provided one lucky child with a one-of-a-kind game room. Check it out.
Hey guys, it's Brady Thomas with the Victory Project. Today we did something amazing. The last 3 days, we've been granting a wish for a 15-year-old who is battling cancer, and his dream was to have his room be a game room. So that's what we did. So let's put in this barn door to add more room. His room's kind of small, so in order to make his room feel bigger, we put the door on the outside of the room. All right, we still got some stuff going on. We got our designer, Jennifer Bertrand, Kelly, helping us out by installing a bunch of stuff. Oh, nice. All right, open your eyes.
Whoa.
Wow. Isn't that cool? So we kept your TV. Oh, you got another one right there. Sweet, huh?
Yeah.
Your fridge is still here. Your gaming system, and it lights up. The desk lights up. You've got lights around the outside that you can change the colors to whatever. Have some fresh air.
This is awesome.
Well, great stuff there. The Victory Project making dreams come true for those in need. Very cool, and we'd love to keep you up to date with what they're doing in the Kansas City community. All right, let's take a timeout. It's halftime here at Children's Mercy Park. 1-0 Swope Park Rangers over St. Louis FC. Haji Berry's goal in the 3rd minute, the difference in this match. We'll take a timeout. Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll look at the upcoming schedule, scores from around the league, storylines from around the league, and first half stats. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's 1-0 at the half, Swope Park Rangers, and you're watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+.
Welcome to the Breakdown once again. Thank you to everyone on social media that's given me positive comments, and I really appreciate the support. Here's episode 5, week 6 of the Breakdown.
Canadian Sojourn here in 2018.
Right into the penalty area, some good give and go here. There's a shot, and they've opened the scoring.
This team goal by North Carolina is fantastic. If you notice that there's always players on the move, they're always giving the attacking player who's got the ball an option to move. For Rios there, he has 2 or 3 options at the time when he received the ball, and he just found himself in extremely good space. But again, it's just the constant movement of the team, and it makes it very difficult for the defenders to track runners. Once again, it's a fantastic first-time finish, especially on turf, into the top corner.
Oh, bad back pass. Arboleda picks it up, takes the shot, and puts it in the back of the net.
Arboleta's goal starts with his positioning. If you notice, he gives himself an opportunity to close down the centre-back, and he reads the pass extremely well and uses his pace to get there. And then obviously, once he's used his pace, he has to slow himself down. And you see from the finish that there's nothing the keeper could do about that. The celebration is not so much in for Player of the Week, but the finish definitely is.
For Escalante. Goes well to pick this up. Goes through the legs of Navarro. Sends the service. Had it.
Escalante's skill here has 2 or 3 different stages. The first stage is when he receives the ball, and it's not the greatest ball to him, but he makes the most out of it. And when he turns, the defender, he's expecting the defender to tackle him. When the defender doesn't make a move, then that's his opportunity to create the skill. And the composure as well. Once he's made the skill, not to get carried away, but to have the composure to cross it. And it's a fantastic cross, and I think he's expecting more from his striker there.
Iwasa Bijev cuts, plays it across, oh, it's in!
When Hall receives the ball here, it's not the easiest ball to deal with. He uses it to his advantage and it draws two defenders out. And once he's drew the two defenders out, it then creates more space for Bijev. And when he receives the ball, I think the defender's expecting him to go on his right foot, but he does a fantastic skill. And at a tight angle there, it's a fantastic finish. The composure to relax himself, but to slot it through the keeper is fantastic. And it makes it very difficult for the keeper to get down low when he shoots it at his legs. I hope you've all enjoyed episode 5, week 6 of the Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Back live inside Children's Mercy Park. It's halftime. Second half kickoff just about 6 minutes away. Thanks so much for tuning in here on ESPN+. And Doug, your thoughts overall in the first half? I know we've talked about it, but Haji Berry gets the goal in the 3rd minute, obviously the difference in the match, but I think overall that was a pretty even first half.
Yeah, it's been a very entertaining game. We've had 6 shots from St. Louis, 5 from Swope, so there's entertainment, there's chances. The goal was kind of a strange one. It came out of nowhere, but give Berry credit for being awake and alive, and as soon as it came to him, he knew how to finish, and that's just the difference in the game right now. But it's been entertaining. I think there's more entertainment to come in the second half, and there's more chances and hopefully more goals too.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights, and definitely plenty of action in this match despite the 1-0 scoreline. Starting off early in the match, it looked like just a routine clearance, Doug.
Well, yeah, it's just headed back in by Didic. It bounces. They misread the bounce, which that's where Coach Pulis will not be happy. Just half a second relaxing, and that's what happened. Berry puts you 1-0.
Seemed like that
down.
was the only time Berry had space the whole first half, and he took advantage of it.
Yep, and that's what good forwards do.
All right, here's the long ball forward into the box. It was kind of a shot cross there by Dakers. He was active near the end of the first half, but an easy save by McLeod. And then again, McLeod quickly, not a lot on that header, but in the right position to make a routine save. Then on the other end, it was Berry again, sending it across, falling to Minter. Tried the right-footed shot, but just missed.
Yeah, hard shot because his foot's coming across his body, so he knows where he wants to put it. And, you know, maybe if he had an opportunity to do that, getting finished, but unfortunately just missed by a few inches.
All right, cool. Let's take a timeout. It's only a few minutes away now from the start of the second half. More to get to on the halftime show and second half kickoff just moments away. It's 1-0 Swope Park Rangers over St. Louis FC live here at Children's Mercy Park. You're watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Welcome back. Second half kickoff just moments away here at Children's Mercy Park. It's 1-0. The home team, Swope Park Rangers, defeating their rivals, St. Louis FC, at least leading their rivals here at the halftime intermission. And as I mentioned, second half just about to get underway. And Doug, what adjustments do you think we might see? I know the Rangers have to be happy with the 1-0 lead, but otherwise it was a pretty even first half. What do you think these two teams were talking about in their respective locker rooms?
Well, I think St. Louis is not going to change anything. I think they're going to play the same way as they did the first half. They created opportunities. They're hoping to create more and hopefully to finish one or two of those opportunities. You know, if it gets down to the last 10, 15, then maybe they have to change things. But right now, I think they'll stay the same. As for Swope, they're going to hope that St. Louis pushes a little bit, leaves some openings, and hopefully they can get that second and maybe put the game out of its way.
Yeah, you would have to think the second goal could be the backbreaker if that was to come for Swope Park Rangers. Obviously, it would be a totally different story for St. Louis FC if they were able to score the next one in this match. Be interesting, though. Pretty even first half. 6 shots to 5 in favor of the visitors, who didn't have their first shot until about the 27th minute. 3 shots on goal to 1 as well for St. Louis FC. So the only shot on goal of the match thus far for the Rangers was the goal Haji Berry put in the back of the net in the 3rd minute.
Yeah, but St. Louis really hasn't, I don't think they've created a clear goal-scoring opportunity. That header was the best, but when he headed the ball, he was going backwards, so he couldn't get a lot of power onto it. So they've had chances and shots on goal, but none of them have been lethal, clear-cut chances in my mind.
Hernandez's touch lets him down. Now St. Louis FC gets possession with plenty of open field in front. But instead of dribbling into that space, the long ball played forward rolls harmlessly to McLeod.
Yeah, Dakers was open for that, but the ball went straight instead of coming out at an angle to his position. And unfortunately for St. Louis, ran straight to the keeper. And there's a name of someone that's actually been causing a lot of problems in that first half, was Dakers down that right flank. He probably had 4 or 5 opportunities in the last 15 or so minutes that first half. So hopefully Swope's going to keep a better eye on him in this second half and stop him from creating those opportunities.
Evans knocking off the rust, plays it across there. He's wearing the captain's armband tonight. First time we've seen him in game action for the Sporting KC organization. Of course, Brad Evans, a longtime veteran of MLS, most recently with the Seattle Sounders. Now a chance here for the home side, but Berry unable to secure that. I think he was hoping that was going to roll behind the central defender, but no such luck.
Yeah, he was looking for the ball in front of him, and unfortunately the pass went in behind him and just slowed him down. So unfortunately not the best of passes into Berry, else he could have been free for an opportunity there.
Culbertson thought it was a foul. Instead, it's just a throw in for the visitors. The sideline, possession will go back to the home side. Hernandez thought there was a foul, no call is given, and now St. Louis looking to create. Into the box, nice sliding deflection by Brad Evans, a great block there. We wondered how quickly he would knock off the rust. Very nice defensive play there by the veteran.
Great work, and again, it's the two we've been talking about, Valesky and Herzog combined there for short little give and go and create a great opportunity. And I thought he was going to get the shot off, but that is fantastic defending by Evans to get a block in and no shot on goal. So watch those two, and then great defending there from the guy that hasn't played a lot of minutes, or hasn't played any minutes up until tonight.
You know, St. Louis FC is to get a goal in this match. I think it will come either from a set piece or for something on the flanks. I think trying to go through the center of the park at Gidic and Evans, I don't know if that's in the cards tonight.
Well, it hasn't worked so far, but like I said, with those two working combinations up front, they're a tough group to handle. But yeah, Sporting has a lot of, Swope has a lot of strength down that middle of the field. And as well as the strength, it's just the experience of Evans too. Gidic not so much, but Evans carries a lot of experience.
Yeah, Gidic is one of those guys you look at him and say, you know, if he was in a different organization, he could be seriously competing for a starting spot in Major League Soccer, but you look at Sporting KC and you're talking about Matt Beasler and Iko Para, guys that are up for Defender of the Year most years. It's a good situation where he has time to develop, but he doesn't have a realistic chance to start in MLS at this point.
Yeah, that's a tough crew to break into. But yeah, if he hangs around here and stays around, there's going to be a future, hopefully, for him with Sporting, because he's a very, there you see right there, that's Evan, sorry, very good defender and very good in the air, and has got a lot of talent. But you're right, breaking through for those two in front of him is going to be difficult.
5 minutes gone here in half number 2. Can St. Louis FC find the equalizer? Nice touch on the ball over the top, but the cross is blocked out by Mayer. It'll be a corner kick for the visitors. And again, you've been talking about it all night. That's Dakers again, causing trouble and earning the corner kick for St. Louis FC.
Yeah, he has been causing problems, but I want to get a little knock here for Hilton. He's done extremely well in this midfield, working his tail off, and he was the guy that played the ball in. There's that little give and go with the two forwards, and a great block by Evans.
All right, corner kick now coming up for St. Louis FC. It'll be a left-footed in-swinger. Good service. Towards the back post, it's headed, but again, pretty close to being right at Darren McLeod. Had to extend those arms and drop to the ground, but made it look pretty routine.
Yeah, it's a free header for Valesky there. Berry lost his runner. I'm assuming Berry had him from the start, but he just peeled around the back, and that's a clear header. And I think Swope's a little bit lucky to get away with that one, because
you see Corey Herzog there as well. Looked
yes,
like he was about an inch away from tapping that in the back of the net.
Sniffing around, looking for any rebounds, and yeah, so I don't think they'll be too happy that he got a free header in there, because Valesky is quite dangerous in front of goal. There's no question about that. And there's Hilton playing that ball forward again into Dakers.
I think that's going to be the formula for St. Louis. Long ball forwards here in the second half.
It almost looks like they've talked about it, doesn't it? Because that's 2 or 3 times in the start of the second half already that ball's been played in. The first one wasn't played diagonal, went straight down the middle, but the last 2 have been decent balls.
A bad giveaway there. This could be a chance, but a poor first touch, and Evans able to clear it out now for the Rangers. St. Louis really has had all the possession here to start the second half. Not much at all from the home side here in half number 2, at least not yet. Oh, Busio able to cause a turnover. St. Louis gets it right back, though. Again, Gianluca Busio, number 13, you see him right there, 15 years old and starting as a professional. I think the upside very high for this kid. Exciting to see him out here tonight at Children's Mercy Park. St. Louis tries to move quickly, but lots of blue jerseys back defending for the Swope Park Rangers.
Now we got
Dakers again.
I was going to say, we got Dakers on the left side now. He's all over the field.
Good job by Evans clearing the ball out of a pretty dangerous spot, and now St. Louis able to get behind the defense, but unable to put a shot on frame.
Well, this is not a good sign for Swope Rangers right now. There's a lot of pressure and a lot of possession going St. Louis's way right now. I think he just got a slight nudge there. There's no foul. It just knocked him off balance there. But they're looking dangerous, looking very dangerous around the edge of that box. And Swope Park Rangers really got to get back into this second half here. And the way they're going to do that is they've got to get some possession on the ball. St. Louis is back on the ball again now. It's important, I think, that Swope gets the ball and keeps the ball, several passes, knocks it around, and gets the team back into the game here, because St. Louis is owning the possession as of now of the second half so far.
And right as you say it, Swope Park Rangers stringing together a series of passes. Even though it's not dangerous possession at this point, it is alleviating that pressure a little bit, as St. Louis has had the ball pretty much the entire half.
This is what we saw a little bit more in the first half. And St. Louis, like I said, are defending extremely well, and they're very high pressure and they're working hard. And if Swope can get that ball and play, you know, your 15 to 20 passes and make them work off the ball, then, you know, fatigue could be a factor later on in this game here. Because as hard as St. Louis is working, it's going to be tough to keep that up for 90 minutes.
Looks like we'll have a substitution coming up for the home side as Brad Evans, who's been knocking off the rust tonight, he'll be coming out unless the situation changes in favor of Graham Smith, number 16. Nice cut into the box. Now sent across, it falls to Barry. Barry with the right-footed shot goes wide. Was it deflected? No.
Nah, he just didn't get his foot around it. It was a great opportunity. Quick move to his right foot, but unfortunately just hit the ball. Maybe his left foot didn't get placed close enough to the ball, and he was stretching a little bit. Yep. Stretching with the ball and just caught the outside of his foot and just whiffed it.
Good recovery defense there by Swope Park Rangers, as it looked like that could possibly be something out of nothing for St. Louis FC. Again, 10 minutes into the second half, and it's been almost all possession by the visitors here in the early going of half number 2. Nice ball between two defenders. Hernandez now surveying his options.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have too many options, so he has to come back and keep possession, which is okay too. He wanted to play the ball forward, but there was nothing for him, or nowhere for him to go.
Busio gets it back now. All the way back to Brad Evans, who we expect to be exiting this match here momentarily. Jalen Lindsay. Good first touch there. Hernandez with a long-range shot that sails just wide. He got a lot of oomph on that shot, considering he had a defender right on his hip.
Yeah, he did very well. Let the ball run to his furthest foot away and knocked it past the midfielder. Took a few quick steps and hit a bullet, but I don't think it was close at all on goal. So here's the sub we were talking about. Evans comes off and Smith comes on to replace him at centre back.
Nice round of applause for Brad Evans, making his organizational debut here for Swope Park Rangers and Sporting KC.
I think he'll be happy with his performance. Probably the biggest thing about his performance is that great block he just did about 5 or 6 minutes ago. But solid performance for him, and he just needs to get minutes under his legs and get back to what he's used to, which, yeah, he's going to be obviously a very important player in the back four for them.
Well, we haven't played a game in, you know, months and months and months. I'm sure that 57 minutes felt like an eternity.
I'm sure it did, yeah. He'll be probably getting an ice bath after this game.
Again, if you're just tuning in, Haji Berry with a goal in the 3rd minute for Swope Park Rangers. That is the difference in the match. The only shot on goal of the night for the Rangers. St. Louis FC has had 4, but none that you would call especially dangerous. All kind of shots right at the goalkeeper, Darren McLeod.
I think the most dangerous shot they did have was a shot that was blocked by Evans, because if
You're
that would have
right.
got through, that probably, I mean, it could have been in the back of the net, or it would at least have brought out an amazing save by McLeod. But like I said, great defending by Evans and avoided that shot on target. So Swope just taking a little bit of air out the St. Louis, and the way they've done that is just by keeping the ball.
Boy, what a nice pass across there. Talk about making something out of nothing. Now dribbling into the edge of the area, but he lost the ball. Tyler Blackwood forgot to take it with him there.
He's unlucky, because if he could have had one more touch with the inside of his right foot, he could have brought it to his left and maybe in a position to get a very good shot off, but just lost control.
Approaching the 1 hour mark here at Children's Mercy Park. Homeside Swope Park Rangers clinging on to a 1-0 lead. You hear the fans in full voice here tonight. This budding rivalry, the 6th game between Swope Park Rangers and St. Louis FC. 1 win for each side, 3 draws, including draws in 3 consecutive matches. Swope Park Rangers in position currently to end that, give them a lead in the fairly new series. Still a lot of time to play, at least 30 minutes left in this match though.
And a big game for both, especially Swope Park. You know, a win here will put them up, at least level in points with the leading team. They would then be a game ahead of them, but could put them up into a tie position for first place.
Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Going to be a substitution, the first of the match coming up for St. Louis as well. Corey Herzog going to be exiting this match, and Kyle Gregg, the leading goal scorer on the season for St. Louis FC, going to be entering the match. Ball sent across, a chance, but it's deflected again. Good block there, as it looked like that could have been on frame for St. Louis FC, but the danger is not over. It's deflected off Mayer for a corner kick.
And again, it's that man, Hilton again. He's the guy who got the shot that was blocked and also played the ball through to Dakers, and Dakers' shot got blocked again. So Swope doing some good defending here. There's opportunities created by St. Louis, but Swope is getting blocks off and no shots are getting on target. So give the credit for the defense, but some great work by Lewis Hilton too.
Substitutions official Kyle Gregg comes in and plays to Corey Herzog. Gregg leading St. Louis FC with 2 goals on the season. Now corner kick, it's Culbertson. Left-footed in-swinger, good service, headed just over the top of goal. Man, what, Culbertson really put that ball into a dangerous spot.
I believe, was that Valesky again? Yes, it is Valesky again, and another opportunity. He lost his player again. I don't want to name any names, but I think it might have been Berry that was marking him again, and he's lost Berry twice now, and should have put that one away.
It's like the Rangers are about to make another substitution as well. We'll keep you informed of that. This match starting to see some significant changes, and now kind of end-to-end action here the last few minutes. Ball played into the box. Now sent across, cleared out of danger though. Good defense there by Graham Smith. Recently checked into this match. Another corner kick though coming up for St. Louis.
Yeah, it's that man again, Hilton, coming through the midfield. They're going to have to keep a better eye on him.
Gianluca Busio coming out. 15-year-old, put together a solid shift today. Rodrigo Saravia enters in his place. We're gonna have to defend a corner kick right now, the home side towards the back post. Ball headed now in front, Gidic clears it out. Mayer able to alleviate the pressure, but it stays possession with the visitors from St. Louis.
St. Louis is getting a lot of joy from set pieces with that ball going deep to the far post. This time it was Gregg that got up and almost was able to knock it across the face of the goal for another opportunity. Ooh.
Ooh, nice move there. Thought that could have been a foul. No call is given. St. Louis still with the ball in a dangerous spot. Crossed into the middle. McLeod, though, in the right spot to make the catch. St. Louis, though, keeps applying the pressure. You can almost feel a goal coming here if they can keep possession. 10 shots now for St. Louis FC on the match, 4 of those on goal.
They've had opportunities to get back into this game. Haven't taken them, but I just feel the way things are going that they're probably going to create some more. Swope's going to have to tighten up on defense, especially on those set pieces. The corner kicks have been very dangerous. just watching the work rate of St. Louis on defense. It is tremendous. When they go, they go. And they're putting a lot of pressure on that back four and on that midfield of Swope, which is probably the reason why Swope's not getting as much possession as they'd like, or as what they're normally used to.
Barry gets one of his few touches in the half and then immediately dispossessed. Djidic takes the safe play there just to kick it over the sideline. 65 minutes gone here at Children's Mercy Park. 1-0 the lead for the home side, but St. Louis FC asking all sorts of questions here in the second half. Pretty much had all the ball and all the dangerous moments here in the second 45. Foul, though, in that case against the visitors. Again, Dakers being active.
I think Mayer did a very good job of I think it was Mayer just stepped across him and therefore had to get pushed in the back. So good defending there. He knew it was coming, stepped across, got nudged in the back and went down. And it is a foul, but very good defending, just positioning his body so the foul had to come against him.
St. Louis loses possession there. It'll go back to the home side. Swope Park Rangers obviously not in a big hurry here, protecting that 1-goal lead.
St. Louis, not giving them a lot of room to play. They're playing very high pressure in tight areas. But if you look at the field on those throw-ins, the width that Swope does have on the opposite side of the field, if they could just somehow get that ball in to the opposite side of the field, there's a lot of space over here. Unfortunately, St. Louis has done such a good job of not letting them get out. If you look now, there's an opportunity for that switch. Unfortunately, didn't look the other way, and St. Louis wins the ball back, and here they come again. Yeah, good call by the referee. There was a foul by Swope, pulling him back. In fact, he's going to get a yellow card for it. Consistently pulling back. The referee waited for some advantage, but the advantage never came. So I think the card went to Kuzane, yes. Good call by the referee. And here's another set piece that they've got to watch. They've done very well pulling that ball deep, so they've got to watch him here. There's the pull by the shirt, and he keeps on pulling and pulling, pulling. He says play on, and then the pass doesn't make it, so he has a right then to call it back. And a good call by the referee there.
St. Louis has been dangerous on these set pieces recently. Ball lobbed into the box. Pretty good service. Poke towards goal. McLeod, I thought he might have to tip it over the top. Pretty good effort there with the back to the goal, but ends up sailing a couple feet over the top of the net.
Fanuel Kativa trying to trip the keeper there. It wasn't too far off either.
St. Louis preparing for another substitution as well, coming up here momentarily. Christian Valesky, who's been very active tonight. It looks like he'll be coming off in favor of Albert Dequa. Would expect that at the next dead ball, as Dequa's waiting to check in here at midfield. Barry with it now for the home side.
Swope just can't seem to get anything going offensively there. And again, great pressure by St. Louis to give him no time on the ball. Plays the pass, and the pass is too heavy, and it runs out of bounds. Again, good defending. So here's the sub that we just talked about. And I think Valesky's had a great night. Just maybe a fresh pair of legs coming on.
About 20 minutes left in the match. St. Louis certainly, you get the feel they may have an equalizer in them. Had almost all the possession this half. Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. Haji Berry had a goal in the 3rd minute of the match. It's been the only shot on goal for the Swope Park Rangers, and it's the difference at the moment. St. Louis keeps searching, but as of yet has been unable to find the equalizer.
Here comes another corner kick. Good ball by Hilton, but great skills there by Culberson to bring it down with his left foot and to get a corner out of this. And here's where they got to watch. It's maybe Greg more dangerous now, peeling towards that far post because they seem to play a lot of the corner kicks deep. Let's see what they do on this one.
Hilton again towards the back post, like you said, Doug. Sails out of the area, though. St. Louis able to keep it in play, keeping possession, at least for the moment. Now back to the Rangers, but no numbers at all for the home side. Now just booting it up the field, alleviating the pressure.
There's an opportunity coming from the right again.
Ball set across, but again, it's right at Gidic. And Graham Smith, there's just a couple of twin towers there in the center of the park, and they've been doing a good job kind of cutting out the danger there. And again, Gidic, it was a very good ball through, but able to win the header and prevent a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, every ball that's been played into that box, Swope, 2 centre-backs have done a fabulous job, whether it's Evans or whether it's Gidic and Smith now. But balls into the box, they've done extremely well defending. I just don't know if they want to be taking too many more of those tonight. So there's a lot of time left on this clock. And St. Louis is starting to push even more than they were before, and they're creating opportunities.
You know, the Rangers haven't had much possession at all this half, but with as aggressive as St. Louis is forced to be right now defensively, you know, one play could spring them and have an opportunity for somebody like Haji Berry to get another chance, and obviously that would be the backbreaker at this point.
Yeah, that probably would finish the game off. There's always that chance that might happen, but not seeing too much of it right now. That's a great ball, great flick by Greg to the sub.
In the box for St. Louis FC. Deflected, and again, it's another corner kick for the visitors. Culbertson jogging towards the far corner of the field. He's going to put in that left-footed in-swinger.
And that's what you'll see a little bit from St. Louis, is they've got 2 big center forwards in now. That ball was just a long ball, 30, 40 yards long, 1 in the air. Here's the opportunity. Good defending there. Trying to get the cross in, well blocked. And like I said, Swope has blocked a lot of shots, a lot of crosses, done a great job defensively so far.
Good ball by Culbertson. Ends up floating through the box, but put it in a very dangerous spot. Be another corner kick on the far side. Hilton will take this one.
There's another corner kick deep. And he gets a hand on it. A good save there.
Clouds had a solid match for Swope Park Rangers. Now Hilton, right foot, towards the near post this time, cleared out of danger. Again, Swope Park just unable to keep possession at all in this half. Kind of frantic defending. See if that takes its toll as we wind down here the last 15 minutes or so of this match. Nice move there, but ball behind the defense, at least momentarily, but McLeod quickly off his line. Talked about how good St. Louis is defensively, Doug. The Rangers have been able to, you know, really sit on this lead, and St. Louis has had all the possession, But other than set pieces, the Rangers have been very good defensively this half, even though they haven't had the ball.
Yeah, they've done well. They've cleared crosses. They've made blocks. They've done well. Just, I don't know if I like seeing them doing that for another 15 minutes, because St. Louis is, even though they've not got through, they're looking dangerous. And I'm sure they would love that one goal and get, 1 point out of this game. But Swope really needs to gain a little bit more possession and get that ball up into the final third of St. Louis rather than sitting back here and trying to absorb this pressure. As dangerous as St. Louis is looking, for 15 minutes, I don't know if I fancy that.
In that last instance, the Rangers weren't even able to get it out of their own penalty area, with McLeod being forced to just play it into the stands. Now past midfield. I was going to say that's an obvious foul. Will it be a card?
It has to be a yellow card. Is he not pulling one out? Yeah, he's pulling one out. Definite advantage for Swope to get down that field and create an opportunity, and he was just yanked back by Kalistri. Now, I don't see him complaining about the card, so, so I think it was the right call.
Rangers going to be making another substitution here. Chase Minter going to be exiting the match in favor of Brian Rebellion.
So we'll
third
see
substitution for the Rangers.
See how that's up, because Minter's left forward and Rebellion, he's fullback, is he not? So definitely, I think, a defensive move there for Swope, maybe to cover that right-hand side, and we'll have two defenders sitting out there. Maybe Rebellion will come in at that midfield role, but he was obviously defensively minded.
I mean, at this point, I would think that has to be the sole focus of Coach Paulo Nagamura and his staff, is just finding a way to close out the last 15 minutes or so of this match. Hang on to those 3 points.
Absolutely, and get some fresh legs. Minter's been up and down that field all night tonight, because they're almost like playing 5 in midfield in this second half. So they've covered a lot of ground, so get some fresh legs on there that will hopefully be able to close out the last 10 or 13 minutes that's left. Something.
St. Louis making a substitution as well. Kalistri, we saw just get a yellow card a few minutes ago. He's going to be coming off. Edward Pakugu coming in for St. Louis FC. Only about 12 minutes left. We'll see if he can make an impact in the match.
Yeah, St. Louis just signed this, he's on loan from the Columbus Crew. Columbus Crew drafted him 32nd pick overall, and he's now on loan from the Columbus Crew. So they just signed him this week, so be interesting if he can come in and make a huge impact for St. Louis.
So what do you do, Doug, if you're a guy like that and you come in with clearly lots of talent and upside, but if you really had no time to gel with your team, are you just playing off instincts out there?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, you come in and, they've all played the game for a while, so you come in, you just give your best, and hopefully things will turn around for you. Get an opportunity to go the one-on-one and take on a player and make things happen, You go out there and you work your tail off and you see what happens. This kid played at, I believe, University of Virginia and was a Generation Adidas player too. So he's obviously got a lot of talent, and to be drafted overall 32 by Columbus Crew. And he's probably on loan because he's not playing at Columbus and they want him to get out there to play something to get that experience. So why not indeed in St. Louis?
St. Louis now. Can they create something here? About 10 minutes left in the match. Both these teams entering in good form. St. Louis has won their last 2 matches. Swope Park Rangers undefeated their last 3. Speaking of which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. If this result holds, you'd have to think Swope Park Rangers would be moving up a little bit in the Monday power rankings. St. Louis FC, I wouldn't think will be dropping too much. They haven't had a bad performance here tonight. Barry's goal in the 3rd minute, we've mentioned it, that's the difference in the match, but statistics would say that St. Louis was the better team tonight. They've just been missing those really dangerous chances. They haven't been able to create any of those.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with St. Louis. They've obviously got a very good team. Very well disciplined defensively, obviously well coached there. And they're creating opportunities here, and I think we may be seeing some more right now.
Good ball across, but again right at the keeper. Man, what a great ball sent across. And Dikwa put a pretty good strike on it, but right at the goalkeeper, McLeod.
We've seen a lot of this tonight where the shot has not had a lot of power on it, and again, he did not get this cleanly, but it went straight to the keeper too. So they've been unlucky a little bit that way. I mean, you could look at it as unlucky or just not quality finishing, maybe poor finishing.
Yeah, and Dikwa didn't hit that all that hard, but if he would have put it almost anywhere else, he might have had a chance to score. Right at the keeper. Fairly hard and low, but yeah, you're just not going to beat a goalkeeper at that point. Just had a harsh challenge and another yellow card is issued. Let's take another look.
Yeah, considerably late there. Lindsay pushes the ball past him and took a bit of a whacking. That's a definite yellow card. Good call. Referee's done a good job tonight. He's kept the game under control, and when there's a card needed to be given, he's done it. Done a very good job.
Should have about 10 minutes left in this match, maybe a little bit more with stoppage time, but there shouldn't be a ton of that here in the second half. Nice ball played forward and a nice first touch. Now a chance for the Rangers out of nowhere, but the shot unable to stay down on frame. And that was the substitute. Rebellion had just come in, but was unable to curl that and keep it down low enough. It goes out for a goal kick.
I thought he was a fullback. He's playing like right midfield here, the looks of it. But that was a great ball in there by Kuzain. Floated it just over Culberson. Culberson just couldn't get it. Great ball in, a great opportunity.
Good defending there by Graham Smith. Oh, nice move there. Now into the box. Chance for St. Louis. Good defending, but the ball still in a dangerous spot. And emergency defending for Swope Park Rangers. Several players down in the box. The foul is called against St. Louis.
Yeah, I think just as he was clearing the ball, he got clipped from behind, but good footwork and good skill to get all the way in there. Yeah, just got caught behind as he was clearing it.
Boy, and Jidic had to have some emergency defending there. As Apoku, as you mentioned, coming in, causing some havoc here pretty quick off the bench.
He looked extremely dangerous, dribbling the ball at pace that the defender did. One step over, cut past one, got in behind the other one, and in the end almost created a fantastic opportunity for St. Louis. But persistent defense there from Swope kept him out. Here he comes again.
Well, he has no trouble being aggressive, sort of shades of Johnny Russell there for Sporting KC, driving right at the defense every time he gets the ball.
It's funny you said that, because I was going to say that. It reminds me of Russell last week. He was just running at players left, right, and center. And here comes another yellow.
Hopefully this isn't a serious injury situation, as we have Rebellion down for Swope Park Rangers, grabbing his knee. Let's take another look.
Yeah, Barden just tripped him from behind. I'm not sure why he's grabbing his knee, but just clipped his ankle by the looks of it. But again, a deliberate foul. And another yellow card that was well called by the referee. I think Barden knew what he was doing.
Time running out for St. Louis FC. Have been unable to find the equalizer. Swope Park Rangers content now just to keep possession along the back line. No rush to get up the field. No real benefit for risk taking at this point on the offensive end. Lots of blue jerseys between midfield and the goal for Swope Park Rangers. Another yellow card. This one to Saraggio.
Oh, he's not too happy about that.
Through what was a really clean game, there's been yellow cards galore the last 10 minutes or so.
Just niggly fouls. He was just pushed in the back, and St. Louis guy didn't like it. And I mean, it was a foul, maybe done on purpose too. But having said that, it's been quite a clean game. A definitely competitive game, but no dirty challenges, I don't think. Of course, it could get a little heated now. Here's an opportunity for Swope.
We highlighted goalkeeper Jake Fennelson here getting the ball for St. Louis FC. You know, hasn't been tested at all since the 3rd minute of the match. It's crazy.
No, not at all.
Yeah, foul over the back there, probably a good call. Graham Smith came in off the substitutes bench around the 57th minute for Brad Evans. I was going to say the Rangers risking a yellow card by refusing to back off the free kick far enough. Now have done so.
He looks like he's 20 yards away from that ball, not 10. Here's Culbertson to swing it in with his left foot again, trying to get it over that back four into a dangerous area between the back four and the goalkeeper.
Instead, it's headed out by Smith. Oof, Gedic. Able to make a big stop there. That was a pretty clever kick back towards the goal, but again, St. Louis unable to penetrate the center of that Swope Park Rangers defense. And by the way, with Brad Evans out, Gedic now wearing that captain's armband for the Rangers. Into the edge of the area, ball set across, and they've finally done it. St. Louis FC has found the back of the net. Swope Park Rangers calling for offside, but the flag stays down. And you can kind of sense that goal coming. St. Louis has been all over the Rangers in this second half, and they get the equalizer there on a great cross.
Yeah, you felt it coming. It was a great cross because it went in behind the back four and in between the goalkeeper. And that's just a beautiful ball for any forward coming into. And I think it's the top goal scorer, Greg, that pokes it in. That might be, I think, yes, it is. And that's his 3rd of the season.
Just we're surprised he didn't start tonight, and he comes off the bench and gets this, like you said, team-leading 3rd goal of the year. Yeah,
just in the right spot, the right time, but a great ball in, like I said, in behind the defense. Just a dream for a centre forward running onto there, and there's nothing the goalkeeper could have done.
Yeah, obviously the St. Louis fans here in attendance have been woken back up. Goals like that is something that makes rivalries memorable, Doug.
Yeah, Swope probably thought they were going away with 3 points, and now if it stays like it is, they'll just walk away one, and they'll be disappointed because they obviously had the lead. But St. Louis has definitely been looking the better team in the second half, without a question.
Say the first great scoring chance of the match for the visitors, and they find the back of the net. Their 6th shot on goal, but the first one that's really seriously tested the goalkeeper, and McLeod really didn't have any chance on that one. And now St. Louis maybe in search of the full 3 points. Open man in the middle, but he unable to keep his header on frame as Dequa. How did he get that open right in front of goal?
He slotted in between the centre back and the right back, and unfortunately the ball was just a little too high for him. He climbed, but just couldn't get on top of it. Fortunately for Swope Rangers there. If that ball was a couple inches lower, I think we'd be looking at 2-1 to St. Louis.
And boy, that would have been just a devastating result for the home side after leading this game for 86 minutes. If If you don't walk away with at least a point tonight, that would be devastating for Swope Park Rangers. It's coming up on stoppage time. It looks like there'll be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time added on to the end of this match.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed that it's tied, but if they were to lose this game too, that would be a heartbreaker.
And now it's poised to be another draw in this series. It would be the 4th straight draw between these two sides. Each team has won once in the rivalry. 3 draws and in position to maybe have a 4th. There you see officially 3 minutes, a minimum of 3 of stoppage time here added on. Great thing about the live broadcast, which you don't get here at the stadium, you can see exactly where we're at in stoppage time. Thanks so much for those of you tuning in tonight on ESPN+. Now St. Louis, maybe another chance. Ball sent across just a bit too far. Ball sent towards goal, and Gidic able to block that shot. Boy, but St. Louis again applying tons of pressure here at the later stages of the second half.
That's a dangerous ball in by Greg. Half a yard either way, and that could have been just half a yard back, and that's an opportunity for him to finish. And he didn't get hold of the shot, but it was blocked all the same, I think, by Smith. And here's an opportunity now for Swope at the other end.
Barry playing it back. Now chip to the near side, Rebellion. Sending it towards the back post. Open man, and the header is, just over the top. The defender saved the day. I thought he was going to head it into his own net for an own goal, a game winner. But instead, he's able to poke it just over the top of the goal.
Oh, Sam Fink just saved the day. That's a beautiful ball in and a good header. And he
I don't know how he didn't put it into his own net. Amazing defending. Thought for sure that was going to be an own goal.
That is great defending, because it's so easy for the defender to watch the header, but he anticipated the header and got in the right position, reacted to it, and saved the day for St. Louis.
I believe that was off his chest. To be able to chest it over the top of the goal from about a foot away.
Yeah.
Incredible. Referee says play on despite some contact. St. Louis looking for the game winner here. Dying minutes of stoppage time, but their shot right at the goalkeeper, McLeod.
Again, another shot that just didn't have enough pace on it. So maybe there's opportunities at both ends in the last few minutes for both teams to win this game. Here's another one for Swope.
Barry, what's he going to do with it? 2 defenders there, but playing it back into the area. Thought he could have taken a shot, now putting it back. Dying moments here in this match. Right-footed cross right at the keeper, though. Maybe the last chance for either side here tonight.
Yeah, I thought Saravia had a chance to turn and actually go for goal, but he came back and went out wide. But maybe he was told that, not told to turn. There was an opportunity in the box there. And then the ball, there's the final whistle.
Wow, what a finish. 1-1 final score. St. Louis gets the equalizer in the 87th minute. And then a flurry of chances for both sides after that. The points are split. 1-1 final score, 1 point for each team. And I think probably a fair result, Doug. Swope Park Rangers got the early goal, but St. Louis was probably the better team after that point.
Yeah, I think St. Louis was the better team after that point. If you're looking at both teams, St. Louis is probably very happy with the point, having been down most of the game. Swope's got to be disappointed, but like you said, probably fair enough in the end, because I think St. Louis was the better team tonight overall.
See, Greg there got the equalizer for St. Louis late in the match. On the other side, it was Haji Berry. As you see him there, got the go-ahead goal in the 3rd minute. Looked for a long time like that was going to be the game winner. At the end of the day, ends up being just the first goal of the match. All right, let's take a timeout. We will come back and wrap things up. A good game, hard-fought, probably a fair result. 1-1 final score tonight, Swope Park Rangers and St. Louis FC. Stay tuned, post-game show coming up next. You're watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Welcome back inside Children's Mercy Park. Game just ended. It's a 1-1 final score, and you can see St. Louis pretty happy, I think, with that hard-earned draw after trailing for, well, ever since the 3rd minute of this match. They get a goal very late, about the 87th minute, to get the equalizer. Kyle Gregg scores off the substitutes bench, his team-leading 3rd goal of the year, and Haji Berry, who had to step up tonight for Swope Park Rangers, with Carlton Belmar gone with Sporting KC. He did step up with a goal in the 3rd minute, but just not enough offense at the end of the day, Doug, for Swope Park Rangers. They were unable to find that 2nd goal. Yeah, in the second half, the offense was nowhere near what it was in the first half, and unfortunately, they couldn't really create a lot of opportunities. They did a few towards the end when, you know, last few minutes, but really St. Louis controlled most of the ball in the second half, created most of the opportunities in the second half, and probably deservedly slow did get a tie in the end from Gregg. So a fair result, I think, in the end, but very good performance by St. Louis coming on the road here. I thought they were very strong defensively and obviously created a lot of opportunities up front. And unfortunately, Sporting, their offense was just not on fire like it usually is in normal circumstances. All right, let's take a look at tonight's game stats. As we mentioned, it was an early goal by Haji Berry, but otherwise pretty dominant statistically, at least shots and shots on goal for the visitors. 17-9, 7 shots on goal to 2, but still a lot of possession for Swope Park Rangers, especially in the first half. Like we said, though, I think a pretty fair result. Swope Park Rangers get the early goal, but St. Louis, lots of good chances after that. Yeah, St. Louis, you know, 17 shots and 7 on goal. I think out of the 7, probably 4 or 5 of them were either not hit well or went straight to the keeper. So they had opportunities. I know Valesky had a very good opportunity with his head. Probably could have scored there, but so they did create opportunities. Unfortunately, Swope did not create enough in the second half. But you're right, the possession shows that Swope had more of the ball than St. Louis. Yeah, at the end of the night, probably a fair result. That'll do it for us here tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Swope Park Rangers back in action May 5th at Oklahoma City Energy FC in their next home game here at Children's Mercy Park Saturday, May 26th against Phoenix, one of the more fun teams to watch in USL. It was Haji Berry with the goal in the 3rd minute, Kyle Gregg with the equalizer right before stoppage time, and another exciting game in this budding rivalry. 1-1 final score, Swope Park Rangers and St. Louis FC. For Doug McCloggin, I'm Dave Orchard saying so long. Thanks to everyone in the truck for their help tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend. You've been watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.